Hello, everybody. It's Denise King Francisco. I am the founder and the president of Gathering Thunder Foundation, and I'm really happy to be here with you this afternoon or this morning or this evening, wherever you happen to be around Grandmother Earth. I thought it was time for an update about what's going on at Gathering Thunder Foundation. What are we doing? What have we been doing? And there's so much to report. But first and foremost, if you have not yet been to our updated website, and that is the website that has recently been wonderfully renovated, thanks to our director, the director of our board of directors, Lillian Cosme, has updated and given us a wonderful springtime fresh feel there at gatheringthunderfoundation.org. Please do take a moment to check it out and see what we've got going on there. And if you have the opportunity, take a look at our newsletter. It's posted now on the front page of the gatheringthunderfoundation.org website. So what have we been doing? Well, the work that we've been doing with MMIW, or hashtag MMIW, and hashtag MMIWG2S, Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women, Girls, and Two-Spirit People, all of the above. We've been working for quite some time at Gathering Thunder Foundation with the good folks at the Native Justice Coalition here in Michigan and the Anishinaabe Circle and Grand Valley American Indian Lodge and many other wonderful groups of people to bring about awareness of this horrible thing that goes on every day in the United States with missing and murdered Indigenous people. And so for our part, we're helping to sponsor billboards, and we have been in places where people gather to start a conversation and in corridors where the trafficking of human beings, our Native brothers and sisters, is actually happening. And once again, in 2021, Gathering Thunder Foundation will help to sponsor and, of course, support billboards that are appropriately placed here in Michigan and in other parts, I believe, of the Midwest. We will be drawn into that work as well to, first and foremost, bring some much-needed awareness to the subject of missing and murdered Indigenous people here on Turtle Island, also known as the United States, for some of you who have never perhaps heard the term Turtle Island. Bring some awareness, and once the COVID situation here in Michigan gets a little more under control, we would like to sponsor some vigils, community feasts and conversations, and how do we help to not only stem the tide of this horrific thing that happens, but how do we help to end it? First and foremost, it begins with awareness and a conversation, and we are all about that. So please understand that we are working as best we can in collaboration with others to do just that at Gathering Thunder Foundation. We're really happy about that. And last year, at the tail end of 2020, we were so happy to be a part of the Native Women Running and Indigenous Trail 2021 New Year Challenge. And of course, that running challenge began at the end of last year as prizes were being brought together and the runners were registering. And Gathering Thunder Foundation was actually the sponsor for the top prizes for the top 8 runners at the Native Women Running and Indigenous Trail New Year Challenge. We were so tickled to be part of that, just thrilled to be part of it. You can find them on Instagram. You can find them, like us, on Facebook. So please do check them out. And bravo and hats off and way to go. Lee, 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 as we say. Lee, 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 lee. Right? So excited about helping to support the runners and running across Turtle Island here in Native North America. So I know it's not always lee, 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 lee. Sometimes it's lulu, 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 but there are so many ways that we show appreciation and excitement. And at least in the way that I've been taught, we give out a really good lee, 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 lee when we are so happy and supportive and You get the idea. Speaking of that, Gather Our Children Home. Oh my goodness, there in the Porcupine District of the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation in South Dakota, headed up by my Chue, Barbara Dullknife. The children's home, the group home, is back open again. Now that COVID is a bit more under control, they're on the reservation. The little ones are back and in the safe house for youth ages 0 to 12. And now actually I believe it's 0 to 15, maybe even 16 at Gather Our Children Home. Wakanyea, Gluitaya, Otipi, Gather Our Children Home. If you'd like to learn more about Gather Our Children Home and how you can help support this safe house, group safe home actually for youth, tribal youth, ages 0 to the teen years, check it out at gatherourchildrenhome.org. We have been involved in that since the very inception of Gather Our Children Home, and it continues on to this day. Gathering Thunder has been busy helping with COVID relief supplies all across Native North America, from the Navajo nations to the Anishinaabe nations to the Sioux nations. We have been everywhere, all across Michigan, from sea to shining sea and north to south, helping the elders, helping the youth with COVID supplies, the basics, also with food for the elderlies who weren't able to get out and to get the much needed basic necessities of living. And so we give a great big shout out to the folks at Title Track, the Elder Program, to Toby and Janelle Price on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation for helping to not only purchase the supplies, but to deliver them. So everything from food to disinfectants to staples of living, soaps, and all those things we need as human beings, right? Just to have a good and safe and healthy life, getting them out there, even up into purchasing gas cards. Gathering Thunder has been on it all of the year 2020. Locally in Grand Rapids, Michigan, all the way up north in Michigan, and as I say, all across the Southwest, and just in various places, wherever there was a call, wherever we were called to help is where we help. And that has been the case for us since 2006, which was before we were actually a 501c3 nonprofit. We have been doing the work. Not always the glamorous work. And those of you that know us know that we have been doing work that most other organizations, nonprofit organizations, are not ever called to do. That includes sometimes, helping to purchase a casket, funeral lunches, burial, star quilt blankets. I mean, we have been doing so much for so long, and we feel honored to be able to do that, including the Fort Robinson Outbreak Spiritual Run. This is something that we have been involved in for many, many years, along with the Dullknife family, and also Chief Philip Whiteman and Lynette Tubles up at the Northern Cheyenne Reservation in Lame Deer, Montana, and their Yellowbird organization, which just does extraordinary work. Gathering Thunder has been for, probably a good decade at least, so privileged to be able to provide a lunch or a breakfast, a warm, nutritious meal for the runners and their sponsors, chaperones, that participate in this 400-mile run every January, every year, retracing the footsteps of the ancestors that broke out of the Fort Robinson confinement that they were in, making their way back to their native lands in Montana by way of the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, going back up north. So we are so excited to be able to help, and we did so again this year. Following the CDC guidelines, we thank you, Barbara Dullknife and the Dullknife family, for making a nice, warm, hot meal that they served outside there in Hesapa Wakan, the sacred Black Hills, for the youth and their chaperones. We're delighted to be able to do that. And again, with COVID being what it is here on Turtle Island, normally Gathering Thunder Foundation is the sponsor of the winter gathering and festivities for the local youth here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, of the Native American Education Program. We weren't able to do as we've always done, gather in Grand Rapids to be with one another for a wonderful wintertime feast and gift giving and storytelling and all those good things. But thank you to Loretta Castaneda and the beautiful people at Anishinaabe Circle for taking our donation and doing the shopping and making the home deliveries of holiday meals for every family. This is something that we started many, many years ago at Gathering Thunder, and that is providing holiday time meals. So whether that's turkeys and rice or turkeys and sweet potatoes, whatever it happens to be, whatever is culturally appropriate and based on the holidays that are being celebrated, or the gatherings being celebrated. Gathering Thunder has always been about feeding people. And that's one thing that we're very joyful in being able to assist with. And so we did that again this year, but thanks to Loretta and all of the wonderful people at Anishinaabe Circle, those meals and the gifts and all of those good educational things that go along with it were delivered door to door to well over 24 families. And so we're very excited to be able to continue that trend. And as most of you know, at Gathering Thunder, in and amongst all of the things that we do, we love working with the youth. The youth are our future. And also, we are very delighted to be able to help the animal nation. So whether it's the horse nation, typically it is the horse nation. Sometimes it has been the wolf nation as well. We help out at the Black Hills Wild Horse Sanctuary. And this year we are also assisting the good folks, the Esquivels. That would be Roland and his wonderful wife, Cheryl Esquivel, at Hidden Creek Stables here in West Michigan. They are a sanctuary for horses, the horse nation. And Roland and Cheryl are also a couple who host Native American youth on their farm at the sanctuary for what we call at Gathering Thunder Horse Nation Day, where the youth are brought in and they get to spend a bit of time with the horses, and the horses get to spend a bit of time with the youth. And we're hoping to be able to do that again this year. This year, we will be helping to sponsor some hay, because horses need hay, and other things that the horses and the donkeys need out there at Hidden Creek. So that and so much more is going on at Gathering Thunder Foundation. As always, those powwows that reach out. We've been drum sponsors for many years, and I guess the list of things that we do at Gathering Thunder over the years has been so long and lengthy. It's way more than the 15 minutes I've allotted myself here on the podcast this morning. But as always, we are so grateful for all of the volunteers, all of the donors at Gathering Thunder Foundation. And one thing that makes us very unique in the 501c3 community is Gathering Thunder is 100% all volunteer. I'm a volunteer. My board of directors is all volunteer. None of us is paid a dime to do what it is to do. We feel as though it's our way of giving back. It's our way of giving back to the community, many communities, the human community, and also the community of four-leggeds and the nature community, right? We are all related. Mite koye oyasi. With that, check it out, gatheringthunderfoundation.org. And if you wish to donate, just let us know, add a note, let us know where you would like those funds to be designated, and that is exactly where it goes. 100% of it goes to our programs and vital supporting of Well, so many wonderful things that are going on out there in Indian country. With that, everybody, have a great day. Get out there and shine.